Hello, welcome to Front and Center, Lawyers Weekly's Front and Center. My name's Scott Ziegler. I'm with Lawyers Weekly, and we have a special guest today, Mr. Joe Chatham, Chief Connecting Officer of USA 500 Clubs. Joe is fondly referred to as the Master of Relationship Marketing. Joe works with high-level professionals, developing business and personal opportunities through collaboration and relationship building, developing innovative tools and exercises, creating social opportunities, training seminars, and more. So Joe, first question, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you, Scott. Thank you for having me on the show. You guys are terrific. Love this show.
Great. So we need you to tell us about USA 500 Clubs. What is the mission and who are your members?
Well, the mission is, it's to put it simply, it's to bring good people together and watch great things happen. So for us, good people means exactly what you think of when you think good people: honest, caring, sharing, hardworking, and kind people. People who understand the value of meaningful relationships. So when they walk in the room, they're not looking at what's in it for me, but they're coming in and saying, what can I do to help other people? But we believe, good people are in all industries. USA 500's model focuses on senior level trusted advisors. So people with at least 15 years of experience, partner, director, manager level. And they're also in just a few categories that, attorneys, accountants, banking and finance, wealth advisory, business consulting, insurance, and various consulting organizations. So we also are not, we're not an organization built on vendors. While we certainly respect everybody, we don't have residential realtors or lenders or office equipment sales, hairstylists, et cetera. We're really focused on good people in certain industries with a certain level of seniority.
All right, well, today's topic is want business success? Stop networking. So why don't you tell me, how is USA 500 different from other networking groups? And how does that relate to our topic?
Yeah, I think that's easy. I think the quality of our membership, I already mentioned a little bit, but every single member is sponsored in by an existing member of good standing, and they complete a membership endorsement form to say that they are backing and completely support this member joining the organization. Our overall vetting process, which is quite thorough, and our focus on relationship building. And I say that versus networking. We only pick the right members. It's a 90-day vetting process, and we focus on truly getting to know each other and each other's businesses and creating authentic relationships. Our guiding principle, if I can say this on the air, I don't know, but our guiding principle is the no asshole rule. We want great people. We want good people, pure and simple. I think how it relates, I hate the term networking, but it's a term that everybody understands. So on a Venn diagram, I think there's certainly overlap, but relationship marketing is a term I use because I think it's more true about what USA 500 is about. Both models bring people together in a common setting, hoping to create value. But this is about, and I think that's about where the overlap ends. In relationship marketing, it's about slowly building long-term relationships. It's old-fashioned. It's nothing new. It's kind of your grandparents networking. You shake a person's hand, you look them in the eye, you get to know them, you get to like them, you get to respect them, and then ultimately, you want to help them out professionally and personally because you're friends, and they've become your trusted advisors. I think modern networking has become more about getting large crowds together, over-eager business development people. I always joke and say when you walk into some of these meetings, there's business cards are flying around like ninja stars, and people are looking over the shoulder for the next best contact. And quid pro quos are expected. True relationship marketing, I think, comes into a meeting. People who are relationship marketers come into a meeting looking to find a quality relationship and a resource to refer to. So if you build a good room of good people with the right type of people and professionals, I think the rest just happens naturally. It's a much less forced model.
That makes perfect sense to me. Now, do you have any tips for building lasting relationships in a virtual setting?
I do. When the pandemic hit last year, of course, everybody was panicked for their own reasons. And we found ourselves as in many ways, a meeting company that was no longer allowed to have meetings. So when we converted over to virtual, we were worried about losing the personal touch, the reading body language, because we talk about establishing authentic relationships. And a lot of times that involves, like I said, the old fashioned handshake, the eye to eye contact. Now it's just figuring out how do you actually communicate with people using virtual. And it really comes back to the same things. Follow up, share with people, use the chat box when you're in a meeting, if whatever it is, I don't care if it's USA 500, the Chamber of Commerce, whatever it is, use the chat box to reach out to people, say hello, send a note, ask how you can help. And the funniest thing, if you never mention yourself and you're asking other people how you can help, and you purposely avoid talking about yourself, it still has the same impact and the same result. So I think you need to get out there. You need to guest frequently, visit other organizations, visit your groups, whatever group that may be, visit them and reach out to others, have a few minute Zoom chat, but most importantly, be an intentional listener. I think you can do that virtually, you can do that live. Listen to other people, be really intentional about it, identify where you can help, listen with the intention to help, and you'll always find someone that that wants to be there for you. There's always people that want help. There's always people looking for help, and if you're the person providing it, you'll always be sought after.
What would you say to people? Some people that join organizations are looking for a real fast return on investment, almost to an unrealistic expectation. So I think that what you're talking about, lasting relationships, is really the long game,
right,
and stuff that will benefit you throughout your whole career. So do you have any maybe thoughts or examples about people that have met through your organization and have branded themselves as the go-to person, or come up with some way that everyone knows who they are? And
oh, absolutely. I'm sorry, I cut you off, Scott.
That's okay.
Yeah, no, it's actually part of our training. Like you said, we do a lot of training seminars and stuff with our members, and we really try to have people, stick to their lane. Number one, and being a lawyer is not a lane. Being a very specific, being a legal malpractice attorney, that's a very specific lane. Being an alcohol licensing attorney, or is a specific lane. Being a forensic accountant is a very specific lane. Most people come into networking, like you said, with unrealistic expectations. They go to a meeting, they say they're an attorney, and they think that people are going to automatically refer to them. It's the attorneys, the accountants, the bankers that have a very specific message that are remembered. Most of us can only keep about 150 resources in our mind at any time. That's called Dunbar's number. For us to remember you, there has to be something compelling in your message. I always joke around. One of the great members of our organization, longtime members, is Al DiNapoli at Tarlow Breed. Al is a hospitality attorney and litigator, but Al also has a real specialty in alcohol licensing. He hates the nickname, but I kind of gave it to him. And so, Al, I'm sorry for saying this on air, but we made a joke one day, and I said, Al for alcohol. Mm-hmm. To this day, everybody in the organization, if it comes to alcohol licensing, questions about alcohol, and then in the expanded message, hospitality, people think of Al DiNapoli. That said, the other day I referred Al a litigation case that had nothing to do with alcohol or hospitality, but at least he gets 100% of the the alcohol licensing stuff and a lot of the hospitality, and he still gets a lot of litigation business as well. Erin Higgins at Con Kavanaugh, lawyer's lawyer. I mean, that's what everybody knows her as, a legal ethicist and an attorney who represents other attorneys. And I could give you a million examples, but I don't want to name drop all day. But the way we train our members is to have a very compelling, very focused message, and we find that it's much more effective than just joining an organization hoping to capture everything under the umbrella of your profession. Well,
those are great examples of how people should be able to brand themselves in a networking environment that really, mixes well with their other marketing efforts. It's great to have talked to you, Joe. Do you have any parting thoughts or one last bit of wisdom?
You know what? Get out there and just try to help people. It doesn't even have to be in the networking environment. The more you're out there helping people, the more it comes back to you, one way or the other. So I encourage people, if you're always looking to help other people, people will want to be around you.
Good thought. Thank you very much, Joe.
Thank you. I appreciate it.